All right, hello and welcome. My name is Michael Jobity, and I'll be hosting this live stream today, as well as the awards ceremony on the 25th to 26th of November. Super excited. Welcome to the fourth edition of the MiraBan UK Film Awards, powered by the MiraBan Company and founded by our festival director, Jay Minari, who's with us today. Say hello, Jay.
Hi there.
So for those of you who don't know, the MiraBan UK Film Awards, or MUFA, is a British, London-based IMDb qualifying film festival focused on diversity in outer movies, created despite all the challenges of an indie, low-budget production. Member of Film Hub London and BFI fan, MUFA provides a spotlight for underrepresented, emerging, and experienced independent filmmakers through weekly live stream Q&A sessions, as well as with its in-person networking opportunities, and an exciting festival event taking place on the 25th to 26th of November at the Bromley Picturehouse Cinema. It's beautiful, I've been there. If you haven't done it yet, check out our festival tickets and VIP pass for the event, and subscribe on our upcoming streaming platform, Streaming Auteur, to which all the officially selected candidates of this edition and vote for your favorite, which will win the Best Film Audience Award. All right, so let's get the ball rolling with our first guest. Please welcome Luke Rex from USA, California, officially selected for Best International Short with their film Bonding, another breathtaking diversity-driven story where, in this case, a solitary figure at an empty bar, CIA clinical and forensic psychologist Dr. John Flemington is planning to visit his girlfriend in Mexico when he is pressured by mysterious underground operatives to join them on a secret mission. He really doesn't have a choice. Now, this film is in the drama, thriller, suspense, spy genre with esoteric origins. Let's have a look.
My name's Anastasia Mansfield. My mother's.
I know who your mother is. Take a look. I don't want to know. Okay? I don't want to know.
We need you.
Not my line of work, sorry.
I'm not asking.
I was about to go on holiday.
You're a hard man to find.
Been told I'm hard, but not to find.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I see.
Wow, I love that trailer. That is such a cool trailer. Congratulations. So, Luke, I'm so excited to have you on the live stream today. First of all, your resume is super impressive. You earned a doctorate in psychology. I read that you released your own music and like nylon string compositions and facilitated psychodrama and acting style groups to adolescents and adults struggling with addiction and dual diagnosis disorders. I mean, wow, the impact you've created is super inspiring. But how are you doing today? Nice to have
Thanks,
you on.
Michael. Well, yeah, thank you, Jay, Michael. Thanks for hosting, Michael and Jay. Wonderful event you're creating here. This is the fourth year, I believe. It looks fantastic. Really, really happy to be here. It's an international deal. Yeah, I do have an interesting background, I guess, for a filmmaker. I mean, I started off as an actor in Australia, and I did my diploma in acting, and then did some work in Australia, moved out to New York in '99, studied at the Strasbourg Institute, came back to Australia, dabbled with university, but dropped out. And then I won a green card in 2006, and I decided to move out to New York and really give it a go, because I was desperate to work with De Niro and like all those wonderful actors, and
Oh, yeah.
came close to meeting him a few times. But I then came out to Los Angeles after meeting some friends in New York, and was trying the acting thing here. And when it wasn't working out the way I wanted, I started taking a couple of courses in community college, which led me to going to UCLA and starting to offer some acting classes in mental health treatment centers for teenagers. And then I did my master's and my doctorate graduating last year. And right now I work as a family therapist and a psychologist at a residential treatment center. And I made this film after finishing my dissertation last year and just was toying with this idea of a young James Bond, and then it sort of morphed into, well, what if Bond in his early 20s before he was MI6 had a kid? And, like what would that look like? And how could that child have somehow been born in Australia, just to kind of give it an Australian sort of feel and national feel? I just committed to it, and it was one day shoot. And credit to Pete Sajado who did that trailer. But it's just been a great experience. I mean, we're 4 months into the festival run, and we've had 10 wins, 18 nominations, and over 20 official selections. So it's been a very successful start to the run.
Yeah, no, that's great hearing that. I like that idea of James Bond before Mission Impossible, like the idea of MI6 in the early days. I think that when did that idea come to your head? Was that something that you always thought?
When I was doing some writing at the end of 2021, I have, Final Draft, and it's always fun to kind of pen a little short film. And I just had a one-page idea of, it really started off with, what if, a scene about him ordering his martini stirred, not shaken? Like how did it come about that he ordered shaken, not stirred? It's such a, iconic line, isn't it? So and I thought that'd be interesting if you kind of flip it. Maybe he did have them stirred and then he changed his mind. And then I was just fooling around with this idea. I thought he could have had a son. He could have had many children, actually. If he was younger and we don't know about it. So I just really entertained that idea of this backstory and fleshed it out and thought, you know what, I'm just going to make this. I can do it. I have a good local bar and they were very kind to let me shoot there, and it's a beautiful bar, the Edmond in downtown in sort of Hollywood, Los Angeles. So I just ran with the idea and committed to it. It was a lot of work. I did the producing, writing, co-composing, directing, acting, but it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, and I feel like that story, it resonates with a lot of people too, right? It's something everyone loves, spy, thriller, suspense. It's something that we all crave. So you're definitely fulfilling a demand there.
Yeah, we don't really see a lot of spy short films or espionage because it maybe requires a bit more time. And I think just with the advent of the alternate universes we're seeing in Star Wars, I thought this could be an interesting genre to explore, and just kind of put it out there in with a massive nod to. We had a really good review on Short Films Matter recently, and they really respected how it was not trying to imitate or copy one franchise, but really its own unique creation, but just a really respectful nod to that character, and with some soulful underpinnings, and exploring father-son relationships. I mean, at a deeper level, you can really dive into this short about what it's like to grow up with my character Dr. John Flemington, with no father. Never met him, never knew him. That was really interesting as an actor to explore that sort of search for identity. And it does pull in on some of the themes without giving anything away of the sort of thread of the recent franchise of Bond dying. So that's there's some parts in the film where it's all kind of unsaid, but when she says to him, there's more you need to know, he knows, he doesn't want to know about it. So he's I don't want to know.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting arc. Oh, sorry, Jay, were you going to jump in?
Yeah, I wanted to ask actually,
go for it.
One of the elements that we curate in this festival is the versatility of our filmmakers and the element of diversity you bring in. So I wanted you to share a little bit more about the roles, because I know you covered many roles in this film. You, I think, also composed the music at the ending with the guitar. So it's really great.
And Daniel Teo and Greg Beaton played other instruments, and we co-composed and arranged together. And a massive credit to Daniel Teo, who really produced that track and just turned it on its head. And we gave him a nice scratch track. But yeah, he was wonderful. In fact, a lot of the people in this film talking about diversity, I mean, Daniel's from Brazil. JB, John Bernard Rudigerama, escaped the genocide in Rwanda. He did the aerial cinematography. He's been in the States for a while. Jannica Olin has alopecia, a bald, blonde Swedish actress in Hollywood who's like had a second wind, just like embracing her baldness on a couple of off-Broadway shows and talks. I had a female DP. So I'm really like the backstories of the people involved in this film has been really interesting to kind of like just take into account. But we had a very small crew though. We only had 3 people. We had the DP and then a focus puller, first assistant camera, and then a gaffer, and it was pretty skeleton crew.
Right. It was the first time you were directing and acting at the same time?
First time directing on my own. Directing, acting, first time. I've acted in quite a few films and shorts, but first time directing and acting, and first time, putting on the director's hat. I've co-directed a couple of things, but this was the first time, ever jumping in and going, right, I own this, well, not I own it, really. That's an interesting thing I just said there, because I don't think anyone ever really owns it. I think that's really shared. Tarantino talks about, you create a vision, but ultimately, in order to fulfill that vision, you need the help of a lot of people, and you need to kind of get them in on that vision and listen to them and be flexible to change your mind on your ideas and not just like be staunch sort of, one-minded. That was a tremendous learning experience doing this actually.
Yeah, I think just on that kind of, I was reading that you mentioned the film became like an intelligent entity almost of its own and involved a lot of synchronicities along the way. That sounds super interesting. I was just wondering if you could expand on that a little more, because I kind of get an idea and a feeling of what you meant, but it sounds...
Yeah, and a lot of filmmakers talk about this. When it's meant to be, things fall into place. So I encourage any filmmakers out there, like even if you're not sure how you're going to do it, just put your best foot forward. So for example, that rune stone in the piece, which is comes Germanic sort of ancient origins. We combined a couple of symbols, but that was made by Elizabeth Jans, who was a customer at a bar I used to bartend at in Silver Lake. And I hadn't seen her for 10 years. And randomly she texted me about a week before the shoot going, "Oh, I saw you're a doctor now on LinkedIn." And we just started connecting. I didn't know she's a ceramicist. She was a lawyer. Went over for a coffee and she got this urn. And I was like, "Hang on a second, would you be able to make these stones?" And she goes, "Sure." Just things like that. Or the DP that acts JB, who couldn't make it a week before. He was in the UK actually covering the passing of the Queen, and he couldn't get back for the shoot. And I was like, oh man, we've locked in everybody. Like, he gave me a referral to Laura. She was wonderful, just a great DP. Shot an Arri Alexa Mini, just so great to work with. Just the fact that you can panic and trust things will fall into place is kind of what I was alluding to, that just kind of like it was meant to happen. Like even the prop of the Darius Lucas, played by Ryan Stroud, that gives to me and says, "Take a look." I found that the morning of the shoot because I was wondering what to use. I didn't want like a yellow vanilla folder. And I found that it was an old Pepperdine thing I found in the bottom of my bag. And I was like, wow. Stuff like that, just perfect.
Yeah. That's so interesting, like how everything just kind of fell into place, right? Like I've heard that too, like funny enough from other stories, just how it's like, it becomes so easy, like it's all at the same time. And it's just interesting that you mentioned that because it seems to be like a common theme.
I'm sure Jay would have his own stories about creating MiraBan and how there might have been struggles, but the right people come at the right time.
Definitely.
One last question, 1 minute, about your company, Nine Lives Entertainment. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Yeah. Well, the logo is my cat rocket on the crescent moon. Kevin Nordstrom helped design that, wonderful man. I just wanted to do this film as professionally as possible. So outside of paying everybody overtime if we needed it, and catering and just, insurance and everything, I wanted to form a production company that was housing the product. So I formed that in the summer, and we're endeavoring to create proof of concept. We've just been nominated for Outstanding Proof of Concept New York pitch to screen. So I'm just hoping that we can keep making great shorts, develop proof of concept for film and TV, and just see where it goes from there.
Nice. Michael, do you want to do the readings?
Yeah, for sure. So, thank you again, Luke, for coming on. It's been an amazing experience hearing about your journey, the amazing film bonding that you've created. I think it's going to inspire a lot of people. And I know you've already inspired a lot of listeners on the stream today. Congratulations again. And with that, I'd like to mention some quick reminders for the audience for some upcoming Q&As as well. So just a quick reminder, all shortlisted candidates will be available on our streaming platform from the 25th of October until the 3rd of December. And you can vote for your favorite to win the Best Film Audience Award. You visit the MUFA website, click on Films and Streaming, and subscribe to streamouter.com. When the platform goes live, you'll be able to like the video you want to vote for. And another note, the award ceremony will take place at the Bromley Picturehouse Cinema on the 25th to 26th of November. It's just a 15-minute train ride from London Victoria Station, so not too far. This is when the winners will be announced and all the finalist films will be screened. To get tickets, check the link in the comment section of this live stream or visit MiraBan UK filmawards.co.uk. Thank you, Luke.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you, Jay. What a wonderful festival you've created, Jay. This is excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Michael. I'll see you all in the next streaming. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Have a great one. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Take care.